Yo, what up? It's Rainbow Chew, and today I am continuing this series, I guess this is a series now, of my top 10 favorite artworks in every set that aren't ultra rare. So no Vs, VMAX, full arts, rainbow, gold, or alternative arts allowed. Today we're doing it for everyone's favorite set, Battle Styles, or Booty Styles as some might say. I know Battle Styles isn't the most hype set in Sword and Shield. It's one of the less desirable ones because there's no like crazy hits in there like a Rayquaza or a Charizard or something, but like don't be basic. We're judging on the underappreciated arts anyway, and this set has quite a few bangers, some even my favorite cards of all time. So prepare for trouble, make it double. No, prepare for your life to never be the same again. That sounds like a threat. Prepare to hear my top 10 favorite cards in Battle Styles. Number 10, Cacturn. Okay, my favorite artist of all time, it has to be said every video and every time I choose their cards, Komiya. They just have this wacky way of drawing everything where you look at something, you think it's something, and it might just be something else, or it might just be nothing. The first thing that I noticed about this card is that Cacturn, who is a cactus, I would expect it to be in the desert, in the sand, but it's in the water. He's like floating down the river or something. So I was thinking, why is he in the water? Is he okay? Is he drowning? Where is he going? And then I figured he's probably okay because it's not like he's allergic to water because he's a plant and plants need water to survive anyway. So he's probably fine. But can Cacturn swim? Cacturn is a creep. Like nobody's ever talking about how creepy Cacturn is. He just stands still in the desert all day so that he doesn't use up his water supply and get too dried out in the sun because he needs to save all his energy at night when he waits for innocent travelers to tire out and then need to rest in the desert so he can use that as his perfect opportunity to eat them and skin them alive or whatever he does with them. I think he eats them, but yeah, he's creepy. So the whole thing where he needs to stay still in the sunlight so he doesn't lose all of his water so he can, get ready for his nighttime murder sesh. That makes me say like, yeah, this guy does like water and there's not a lot of water in the desert. So he's probably taking a swim to replenish his water storage so that he could be nice and hydrated and healthy for tonight when he eats some children in the deserts. And then I saw this in the background and I was like, where is he? Because what is going on up here with this little hill? So then I thought it was just a very like Komiya-esque way of drawing like a weird barn and a silo tower. Because he always draws things and makes them look like, you think, oh, it's a bridge or it's a silo or a barn, but he does it in a very weird way where you're not really sure, but it's like, yeah, that's Komiya's way of drawing a barn. That's so Komiya. So at first I was like, is that a barn? Because that's a really funny, typical Komiya barn. Loves it. But then Detective Rainbow Rat wouldn't settle for maybe it's a barn. She needed to get to the bottom of this. So I went on Bulbapedia and it turns out that that is actually the Tower of Darkness from the Isle of Armor, which is super cool because I love when cards have like a real location from the game because it makes me feel like, oh, look, I know that place from the game. So I wouldn't have guessed that that was the Tower of Darkness, but shout out to Bulbapedia, I guess, for providing those answers. Shout out to Detective Rainbow Rat for also discovering the answers. But there's two towers, the Tower of Darkness and the Tower of Waters. So it's strange they chose the Tower, or Komiya chose the Tower of Darkness instead of the Tower of Waters. And that to me is like, oh yeah, definitely foreshadowing that this is totally a late night swim hydration replenish session to get ready for that late night desert murder sesh later on. So darkness confirmed, and that's why he's in the water. Thanks Bulbapedia, and thank you Komiya for making such groundbreaking pieces of art. Number 9, Blipbug. Some might call this a biased choice because Blipbug is one of my top 3 favorite Pokemon. I think he is the cutest, most precious little bippy jellybean baby boy. Once again, we have a real game location in the background, the Master Dojo, and it just looks like, you know, maybe he's not even strong enough to fight in the dojo with all the big boys. He's just a little small jelly bean baby, and he's just going outside with all the other Pokemon in the fields in front of the dojo, like, well, time to have a nice little day. Another day in my life as a big jelly bean boy. Wonder what this day has in store for me. And he fixes his little bow tie, and he puts on his little bug glasses, like the good little bookworm boy that he is, and is waiting to see what the great big day in this great big world has in store for him before he grows into a big scary evil Dr. Robotnik alien spaceship thing. He's just like a little innocent little boy just trying to learn and read all his books, and I love it. Number 8, Esper. So, in the background, once again, we have the battle dojo, but from like a different angle or different perspective, and also done by a different artist. I like when it's the same area, but from a different artist's perspective, with to see their take on it and their different style. This one's a little bit more watercolory. I didn't know that Esper could fly until I played Pokemon Snap, and then I was like, wow, he can fly. But when I first saw this card, I don't think I realized that yet. I just thought he was just sitting there, like with his little short arms, being all small. And it's cute. He's just sitting out on the grass, being too small for the world. And Blipbug is out on the grass, being too small and precious for this world, that's for sure. But he's actually levitating. I just realized now, after Pokemon Snap, and I know that he flies, you could see he's floating a little bit, and the leaves are like blowing around him. It's just super cute that him and Blipbug are just two little small babies that are too precious for probably whatever hardcore big boy battles are going on in the battle dojo, where the more experienced trainers are fighting, but they're just too small. They just don't know yet, but they're out there, they're trying their best, and they're learning. Blipbug's out there just taking in all the information, reading all the books like a good boy, and Esper's is there practicing his magical psychic abilities. He's just learning how to control them little by little by just floating a little bit. But it's okay, because one day he's going to be flying in Pokemon Snap, and everyone's going to be taking his picture and being like, wow, who knew that guy can fly? And I'll be like, yeah, I knew. It was on that Battle Styles card, didn't you know? And everyone will be like, wow, Detective Rainbow Rat, you're like so cool. Okay, number 7, Aegis Slash. Inanimate object Pokemon are my all-time favorite, but for some reason, Honedge, Doublade, Aegis Slash, all these little sword guys, they never did it for me, despite the fact that they are like super inanimate. But that's the issue. I think they're too inanimate. Like, I don't see them as friend, like Chandelure is lamp friend and Magnemite is a little magnet friend, but I don't see these as friend. Like, they're just too much just like an item. They're just swords. So I never really bonded with them. But the cards of them, they have a lot of personality, and they make me feel like I want to get to know them. So this one in particular, it's very bold. Like, I don't see him as just an item. Like I just said, he is a presence. He is standing in front of the moon. You got like the symmetry going on, and he's just there. It's like some kind of epic Zelda journey where Link is the sword. With the eye, it's like Lens of Truth vibes. It just looks like you're about to start some very serious adventure. Like, this could be the cover for Fire Emblem, and it would make me want to play Fire Emblem. And I've never played Fire Emblem. But if this were the cover and they were like, anime sword fighters, do you want to play it with this sword with this eye standing in front of the moon? I'd be like, yeah, I'm down to be a blue-haired anime man all day. So good stuff. Number 6, Honedge. But Rainbow Rat, you said you didn't like these sword Pokemon, and now you're gonna put 2 in a row? Yeah, because the art is dope. A lot of Pokemon that their design is super underwhelming to me, like the art makes it happen. In the games, I'll see them, they'll just be very generic pixels of sadness. And then when I see their card doing whatever they do, I'm like, oh, you actually brought it to life. Even though the video game should technically be bringing them to life, since that's like, you know, what video games are all about. But if the video game can't do it and the artist can, then at least somebody's doing it. Am I right, ladies? So yeah, this is by Sao Sao, who's definitely one of my top 3 favorite artists. Everything just has like a very whimsical storybook feel, and this is definitely whimsical storybook feel with the whole sword thing. The other one had like the hero's journey with the sword standing in front of the moon with mad presents being all like the start of the fictional video game that is Fire Emblem. But then this one is more of like the soft, like, oh, I'm just a fairy tale. Do you want to read this book about a hero? This one's more of like the low-key, little secretive one. And look at how he seems like somebody just propped up a sword next to the tree. But then you see he has almost sentient qualities. It looks like his hand is like cupping the flower to like protect it. Like he has a soft side, even though he is a sharp sword. There's a lot going on here. But even though he may be a spooky ghost in the foggy fields, he still has a soft side because it looks like he's protecting that flower though. So maybe he is a friend after all. And it was on that day that I kind of liked Hone Edge for the first time, even though they were previously like my least favorite inanimate object Pokemon. Wow, who knew? Thanks, Sao Sao. Number 5, Murkrow. Here is another total like spooky but vibe. Like this card just creates a very nice atmosphere where it's in the cemetery, black crow in a cemetery. It seems spooky and ominous, but it makes it like a beautiful story or something. There's just a certain vibe and atmosphere about this Murkrow on this cemetery headstone that feels pretty and nice and fun and good rather than like a creepy dead cemetery. It just feels very peaceful and inviting. It looks magical, like I want to go there, where it could be, you know, evil, creepy cemetery where it's telling you don't go here, this is where death is. This one is very inviting and alluring. It's like, come to the cemetery where magical things happen, stories unfold, and I love it. It's beautiful. Number 4, Indeedy. Or should I say, I have to say it, I have to do it, I'm sorry.
Indeedy, get out of my laboratory!
Okay, Indeedy. So, when I first saw this Pokemon looking so nasty, I was like, what's her problem? Like, why is she such an unpleasant woman? But then I learned that there are different appearances of the male and female Indeedy. Get out of my laboratories. The female one is cute and smiley, and the male one looks very angry and mean. So this is a male Indeedy, which is why he looks so angry. And there's another one of a female Indeedy looking sweeter and cuter, and she's sweeping the floor. So they're based on different creatures in like folklore and mythology that are housekeepers. So the female one that looks gentle and friendlier could be based on a maid, and then the angry male one, like this one, is based on a butler. So his angry face is, I guess, like a serious butler face that's like, right away, I'll get you a cup of tea, indeed. But he has a little Sinistea floating around, and that's the ghost type poison death tea Pokemon. You're not supposed to drink that tea, so they should have thought twice before they hired this angry male Indeedy worker, because it looks like he about to poison the whole damn family. So I wish them the best of luck. But then, I don't know, if you hired the female Indeedy, just because she's smiling doesn't mean that she's not about to murder her whole family too. If anything, she probably is even more suspicious because she gets away with more murders since she's cute and smiling all the time, but she's not fooling anybody. The art is by Saruta, who always has like really cute scenes. They always kind of have like a pastel color, and they just have really funny, cute scenes going on that are oftentimes inside a house, which I like when Pokemon are living their lives inside a household, because it's like the secret life of pets as opposed to just being like in the forest or in their natural habitat. I like to see them as pets or whatever, like this Blissey from Chilling Reign, where she has the pictures of her and her master on the wall with her like funky boots. They also did these amazing promos of the whole sequence of events where Chespin drops a book on Litten, who scares Inkay, and he spits ink in his face. It's a whole thing, like just another cute little household scene picture depicting some cute little household antics. But it does look like they're about to put some sugar in there, at least. So, you know what they say, Just a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down, am I right? Or in this case, makes the poison go down. In the most delightful way, as long as it's yummy. Number 3, Spoink. Spoinkleberry is such a cute boy. He's in this very magical, beautiful looking park at night with a twinkle in his eye. What is that little baby doing out in the middle of the night unsupervised? Well, my theory as Detective Rainbow Rat is that he snuck out to meet his girlfriend on a date. Because there's another card from Darkness Ablaze of Gothita, who looks like she's in the same magical park at night with the same nervous twinkle in her eye because she snuck out to meet him on a date. They're very shy and very awkward, and it's like their first ever date, but it's gonna be fun, so I'm not even gonna tell on them. Isn't that cute? I don't know if it's really the same park or if this was intended, but it does look like the same park, and who knows, if we want to really go crazy with the Detective Rainbow Rat theories, maybe this is even the same park from Shining Fates where Snom likes to sit on the bench. Lots to think about here, I know. Number 2, Grumpig. This is one of my favorite cards of all time. It is the true embodiment of what kind of acid trip menagerie I see when I look at a Komiya card sometimes. Like some of them are a little bit more on the tame side where, you know, it's a little bit strangely proportioned, but you still can get the gist of it. And then some of them are like the more you look, the more details you see and the more confused you are. This one is the perfect example of it. And Grumpig is amazing with the mischief in his eye. He knows you're confused and he doesn't care what in the Willy Wonka factory he is doing over here. At first glance, I thought he was just being sassy, standing in front of the table in some sort of like Willy Wonka, Dr. Seuss-esque dining room with like a long table, and these were the backs of weird, squiggly, colorful chairs. But then I realized that there's rainbows in the background, so I think he might be outside. And then I realized that these aren't chairs and that's not a table. I don't know what they are if they're not chairs though. I don't know if other people see it as a dining room and dining room chairs or if that was just me, but they're not chairs. They could be just very weird avant-garde chairs, but I don't know what these like colorful squiggle boxes are, but he's loving it. And then the floor is like insane. Like there's just so much detail and crazy colors going on in this disco floor. And the move Dazzle Dance, it totally fits like some kind of whatever razzle dazzle aesthetic is going on inside this room, or is he outside? I don't know, but the more I look at it, it's like everywhere you look, you're confused, you don't know what you're looking at when you're lost out there and you're so confused. Komiya is waiting to draw you some weird stuff everywhere you look. Do 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 do. Ah, what are these stupid chairs? Yeah. Damn, sang a whole song and I'm not even on number 1 yet, and you people have the audacity to say Battle Styles is a bad set. Urshifu, more like Ursha who? It's not even about him. Number 1 is, you guessed it, it's another Komiya art. I don't know. I felt like I should sing a song to lead into number 1 since I already like used my song up on number 2, but for real, I don't know why we're not talking about this card every day of our lives. That's right, it's Jellicent. Listen up to me when I say it's Jellicent. This card is a masterpiece. I think we all acknowledge and can agree that Shining Gyarados is one of the greatest card arts. It's a beautiful, classic, iconic scene. Helpless fisherman comes face to face with scary sea monster in the middle of the ocean. He's probably going to die. Ooh, scary, exciting, but beautiful. That's the whole vibe here, and we all love it. It's a cool card, and it's very memorable. However, we got the same thing going on here, but with the good old Komiya twist, because Jellicent, I always thought Jellicent was super cool because it's a water ghost type and it's like a giant jellyfish ghost that flies or floats around all spooky on the bottom of the depths of the ocean, which is like basically another planet. Like the bottom of the ocean is horrifying. So you have a jellyfish ghost that just floats around down there. Very, very scary stuff. You probably never really see Jellicent floating around above the surface. If you do, you're probably like, oh no, oh no. So here we have the same, typical scene of the fisherman being greeted by a horrifying sea creature, but this ain't your mother's sea monster. This ain't your mother's average monster. These are not one, but 3 scary, horrifying jellyfish demon ghosts, like weirdly floating like aliens in an otherworldly fashion all around this guy's boat. And it's terrifying. Shining Gyarados is the basic vanilla tale of dangerous in the ocean, dangerous monster, where this one is for the more cultured folk. It's a way cooler, eerie vibe. This is like the Spirited Away, and Shining Gyarados is like the Jurassic Park. It's the Pringles guy from the Pringles can coming up to kill you, because once you pop, you really just don't stop. The end. So that concludes my top 10 favorites from battle styles that aren't ultra rare. Don't listen to the haters. Battle styles is tight and the cards are dope. Bye!